So, you guys know how AI has been rapidly advancing over the last couple years. I mean, go ahead and look at a video from just a couple years ago or a year ago of some of the best AI art generation that was possible, and then look at what's possible to like the general consumer and creator of AI content, if you creator of AI content, nowadays. Just like the basic stuff you can just like use in browser. It is leagues ahead of what we had as the top of the line just a couple years ago. Now, there have been a lot of things that have come from this, some good, some bad. We just watched a hilarious video using AI voices of Omni-Man and Mark from Invincible. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but my chest still hurts from laughing. Anyway, there's been some good, there's been some bad. An example of the bad has been the massive explosion in popularity of AI deep-faked porn of celebrities and actresses and, you know, YouTubers and streamers and people who are popular and famous. I have had AI deepfake porn of me made and sent to me. It exists. People have made that. That's you guys right now. But yeah, like, it's very pervasive and easy to make and easy to just spread out there. So with that in mind, there's what can be done about this. Like, what can be done? And the real answer is nothing. Like, realistically, the answer is nothing. I genuinely think this is just reality now. Like, people just have access to this technology, and you cannot prevent people from making porn of you or creating nudes of you. That is just the world that we live on, or live in. If you upload enough pictures of yourself online, you've given all the data that these AI programs need, and people will do it. Even if it's made illegal, unfortunately, the application of these laws is not going to be effective. Take stalking laws, for example. Stalking, in America, is effectively not illegal until you've done something harmful to the person you're stalking. This is famously a big problem for content creators and YouTubers like myself. You see, if I knew for a fact someone was actively stalking me, moving next door to me through multiple places, this happened to many YouTubers before, and I kept on having to tell the police and they knew who this person was and knew this person was just following me, they wouldn't be able to do anything about it until they've done something explicitly illegal and harmful and threatening. And you'd be surprised at how much that line can be pushed. So, when it comes to the application of any laws that could potentially be made to prevent this, I'm sure they could exist. I'm sure the laws could be passed and the bills could be written, but the application of those laws, the enforcement of those laws, is going to be spotty and shoddy at best. With that in mind, the right has been one of the biggest adopters of AI because of mostly the negative reasons. The ease of creating misinfo. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but ever since the AI tech started to get more advanced, conservatives have started producing AI images that they spread around Twitter, and you can tell they're AI because, like, the 6 fingers and, like, the like, eyeballs that are, like, on people's cheeks and stuff when you look in the background, because AI is not quite perfect yet, and you can really tell if you look close enough. But they'll post a photo. Have you seen, like, all these photos that conservatives share around where it's, like, a bunch of young boys dressed very sussily, like very sussily, walking in a pride parade, surrounded by dudes in like leather assless chaps? Big conservative Twitter account sharing this around constantly. Now, a lot of them get Twitter, what's the term for it? Community notes. And the correction gets added that this is AI, obviously, so on and so on. But thousands of conservatives eat it up. Just absolutely eat it up. And something you guys are going to have to basically deal with is the fact that as AI gets more advanced, conservatives are eventually going to be able to produce, in mass, in seconds, for free, indistinguishable from reality videos of whatever they want. Anything they want. They can create... By the way, those images they're sharing where the kids are dressed like that and whatnot, don't even begin to ask, like, don't even ask what conservatives are typing into the prompts to generate that, by the way. You know, like, that doesn't just get made. Like, the AI didn't just make that on its own. They had to type that all out into a box and hit create, generate, or whatever the term is, or enter, or whatever. So, like, they had to type that out. Think about that for a minute. Disgusting, obviously. Anyway, what's really worrying to me is that we're about to enter a whole new age of disinfo. And the right has massively embraced AI because of this. However, after a long pattern of non-stop defense of AI in all of its uses, no matter how arguably immoral, conservatives have now taken their first big step to be angry about AI and pushing against AI. You see, this happened once before, technically. For those who don't remember, Grok, G-R-O-K, Twitter's, aka X's official AI, built in for Twitter Blue users. When it first came out, if you asked who won the presidential election, it would answer Joe Biden won the presidential election. Stuff like that. Which caused the hashtag #GrokIsWoke trend to blow up on Twitter, with conservatives all across Twitter demanding that Elon Musk fix Grok and make it no longer woke. Hilariously, though, they're literally just mad about the AI being accurate. I have no idea whether or not Elon quote-unquote fixed this, and if you, like, ask the AI now who won the presidential election, if it says Trump won and, like, Biden stole it, or if, like, they say there's so little information about the, you know, accuracy of the election that no one could really say who genuinely won. There's a lot of valid reports of electoral interference on the part of Democrats or some shit like that. I don't know if he changed it or he didn't, but regardless, that didn't get as much pushback as this has. Google's woke image generator shows the limitations of AI. Google has admitted that its Gemini AI model, quote, missed the mark after a flurry of criticism about what many perceived as anti-white bias. Numerous users reported that the system was producing images of people of diverse ethnicities and genders even when it was historically inaccurate to do so. The company said Thursday it would pause the ability to generate images of people until it could roll out a fix. Now, a lot of people called out conservatives and others making fun of this AI, saying, oh, you're melting down because the AI creates brown people. And while that is partially true, as it always is with conservatives, they are just racist oftentimes, to be fair, it goes a little further than that. This AI was so broken that even when you explicitly entered white or Caucasian into the search bar, it would not produce, like, a white person. Like, no matter what historical figure you put in, no matter whoever you put in, you would not get a white person, because the AI was trained on such a broadly diverse, like, variety of pictures and people from around the world that it started generating, like, Asian George Washington, and, like, Black Robert E. Lee, and, like, Black Nazis, Black Hitler. If you ask the AI to generate Adolf Hitler, it brings up Black Hitler. Like any Nazi figure you bring up, or any Confederate leader, ends up being black or Asian or Hispanic. None of them white. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like fucking yeah, literally Kanye. Yeah. No, like, we're not just talking about, like, the AI produces brown people sometimes, and so that is evil and woke. We're talking the AI literally cannot make white people. And the point of the AI is to create relatively accurate images based on the prompts entered. And so the fact that the AI literally could not make white people, well, obviously it's not woke, it's not, like, racist against white people or anything. It clearly shows that, like, this blunder falls far more in the hands of conservative propagandists than it looks on the surface. It was a big blunder, for sure, and it's unfortunate, and it wasn't on purpose, but it's a pretty big oof, because the right have a lot of ground to stand on this point to try to claim that the AI has, like, some sort of, like, Google AI has some sort of prejudice against white people. Not Zan saying that woke equals racist against white people? White fragility expose. Holy shit. Oh my god, this is the funniest shit ever. Guys, I think we've got like a woke scold anti-fan in the chat named White Fragility Expose who watches my streams as a lurker, waiting for me to say something they can clip, and just said, not Zan saying that woke equals racist against white people. Holy shit. Obviously, that's not even close to what I said, but, I find it absolutely hilarious that we have people like that just, like, exist in the chat. That is wild. The clip trippers are out there, guys. They're always out there. They're trying to get you, always. You gotta be careful what you say, because they will always try to cut you out of context to make you look bad. Google has admitted that its Gemini AI missed the mark. When prompted to create an image of Vikings, Gemini showed exclusively black people in traditional Viking garb. A founding father's request returned indigenous people in colonial outfits. Another result depicted George Washington as black. When asked to produce an image of a pope, the system showed only people of ethnicities other than white. In some cases, Gemini said it could not produce any image at all of historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, Julius Caesar, and Galileo. Many right-wing commentators have jumped on the issue to suggest this is further evidence of an anti-white bias among big tech. With there is most certainly not an anti-white bias in big tech. With entrepreneur Mike Solana writing that Google's AI is an anti-white lunatic, Jesus. But the situation mostly highlights that generative AI systems are not very smart. Quote, I think it's just lousy software, Gary Marcus, an emeritus professor of psychology and neuroscience at New York University and an AI entrepreneur, wrote on Wednesday on Substack. Google launched a Gemini AI model 2 months ago as a rival to the dominant ChatGPT model from OpenAI, which powers the GPT model. Last week, Google rolled out, I can't read right now, what the fuck is going on? Rolled out a major update to it in which the limited release of Gemini Pro 1.5, which allowed users to handle vast amounts of audio, text, and video input. Gemini also created images that were historically wrong, such as one depicting the Apollo 11 crew that featured a woman and a black man. On Wednesday, Google admitted its system was not working properly. Quote, we're working to improve these kinds of depictions immediately. That really does, that comes off wrong in a completely different way. A senior director of product management at Google's Gemini Experiences told Wired in an emailed statement, Gemini's AI image generation does generate a wide range of people, and that's generally a good thing because people around the world use it, but it's missing the mark here. Krozix, I cannot pronounce this guy's name, it's Polish. Guys, I can't do Polish names, guys. Polish last names they're just bullshit. I'm sorry. Tell me how this is supposed to be pronounced. Krawczyk. Tell me how you're supposed to pronounce that shit. Fuck you. It's Polish bullshit. Explained that the situation further in a post on X. Quote, we designed our image generation capabilities to reflect our global user base, and we take representation and bias seriously. We will continue to do this for open-ended prompts. Images of a person walking a dog are universal. Historical contexts have more nuance to them, and we will further tune to accommodate that. So, basically, what ended up happening here was the AI was designed to, when given a very broad prompt, like a group of people walking through a city, the AI was designed to not just produce a large group of white people. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but when you ask for AI, most AI programs, to generate a person, but you don't specify a person of color, it pretty much always generates white people. If it's a big crowd, it's a crowd of white people. And so it seems like what they tried to do was make the AI a little more diverse, a little more capable of like, oh, you ask for like a big crowd of people, and it's a diverse crowd of people. Or you ask for a guy walking his dog, and it could be a black person, an Asian person, a white person, a Hispanic person, whatever it may be. It's just random, because there's like, it doesn't consider white people to be people and like POC to not be people, right? And it's supposed to be a little more fair, a little more randomized, right? The problem is, it ended up kind of bugging out because our AI generative software is not really that advanced yet in the grand scheme of things, and it resulted in us having some pretty silly generations of historical figures. Now, isn't it kind of funny that the right got triggered about this? Like, this is just an AI bugging out, and the right has lost their mind, and one conservative pundit called the AI a lunatic. They haven't been making fun of this. They haven't been, like, making jokes or memes about it. They've been genuinely outraged and offended, claiming that, like, this AI is racist against them. And it's interesting to me they've gotten triggered by this instead of memeing about it, because this is such perfect meme material. This is a perfect example of the right getting unironically triggered over nothing, and basically losing out on the ability to, or like giving up the ability to make some funny-ass memes and jokes about this because they are genuinely morally outraged over it. Here's a quote from Jordan Peterson about it. "We've now granted our demented lies superhuman intelligence," Jordan Peterson wrote on his X account with a link to a story about the situation. But the reality is that Gemini, or any similar generative AI system, does not possess superhuman intelligence, whatever that means. If anything, this situation demonstrates that the opposite is true. Unfortunately, AI is going to be praised by conservatives in every way it can be used to achieve negative means, such as the spread of misinfo and the creation of, like, revenge porn. However, when it comes to things that it can do positively, such as, you know, producing a broad variety of races and ethnicities when asked to generate just a broad category of people, somehow that is a big deal, something we need to be genuinely morally outraged over and upset about. It's really funny to me how conservatives kind of thread the needle between being triggered little baby bitch snowflakes while also playing the cool, disaffected, calling everybody else baby bitch snowflakes character. They do it simultaneously. It's not like they do it one day, do one thing one day, and then do the other thing another day. They'll do it in the same day on the same Twitter account, back-to-back Twitter posts. Like one post saying lefties get so triggered, and another post like having a meltdown over something, like the very next tweet. They have no self-awareness. They're multitasking, yeah. Man. This AI stuff is going to lead to some seriously exacerbated culture war tensions in the future that I think a lot of people haven't even thought about.